Hi, this is John with the Garmin Marine team, back with another Garmin Marine webinar. And today I wanted to tackle our brand new cartography for 2022. This is going to include the Garmin Navionics Plus and Garmin Navionics Vision Plus. As always, if you have any questions pertaining to this particular webinar, please email us at Garmin or at marine.training@garmin.com. And please put in the subject that the cartography webinar. And as always, you can go back and look at some of our older webinars on our Garmin YouTube channel. So let's get right into this. Do you want to take your charts from this to this, or from this to this? Let me show you how. It's simple and easy with our brand new cartography. So devices that I've used in this webinar here for the screenshots is going to be the GPS Map 8616 XSV. I have a physical Navionics Vision Plus card, and then my ActiveCaptain app, and I'm using my iPad as the ActiveCaptain connection. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how we can go through here. As always, our product support team has put together a great video on ActiveCaptain. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you've got ActiveCaptain on your smartphone or tablet. Download that free app for Android or Apple. And then you're going to want to make sure that you've got a connection to your chart plotter. I actually go in and show you how to connect later on in this video. So as of this point here, just make sure you have an ActiveCaptain account, that you have it on your smart device, you've got it connected to an email, and you'll be all ready to go ahead and get started. I'm going to cover what's new in cartography for this year, 2022, the chart plotter compatibility, ActiveCaptain's huge with this, and then how to purchase and unlock premium features such as high-res relief shading, satellite imagery, sonar imagery. So let's go ahead and get started here. So you can do it a couple different ways. You can actually go and purchase a physical chart card that's going to be on a SD card and micro SD card with either the Garmin Navionics Plus or Vision Plus cards here. And then yes, we still make cards for the other manufacturers out there. So if you have a non-Garmin unit out there, you can go on to the Navionics website and take a look at what card would work for your device. And the nice thing is the coverage areas, both Navionics Plus and Platinum Plus and the Garmin are the same coverage areas. So we've really streamlined it, make it easy to purchase, especially if you're running, different units on your boat. We make it super simple and easy. You can download this chart data if you wanted to, right from the ActiveCaptain app, or like in this case, I'm showing you a physical card and what we can do. Here you go. So you could purchase it and update through the ActiveCaptain app. So you just want to make sure that you have the app. It's on your device. You can go in there under My Charts and take a look and say, oh, I want to purchase additional charts, or you want to have them updated. So in this case, I've already purchased it. It's on a card, and I'll show you how to do that. But your app also allows us to update that because we get daily updates, up to 5,000 daily updates per day. And you get that for the first year, you get that subscription with your chart. So selecting your chart, coverage area, and will they work for you? So number one, will they work for you? You can go to our website, or you can go to any of our retailers. The easiest way really is if you just go into our website and you go into Garmin Marine, you go into the US Marine and chart plotter compatibility, and you can actually take a look at, I just screenshotted our first screen here. You've got a couple other screens that'll show you some of the other chart plotters that are out there for like Volvo, what is compatible. So the biggest question is, will it work for the unit that I have? So if you've got an older series, what we call a legacy series, a 4,000 or 5,000 series, unfortunately it won't, but we still make the Garmin Blue Chart 3 G3 charts that'll work with that. So you can see, yes, it'll work with a 742, 942, 1242, the Plus series. Absolutely. The current models that are out right now, It will not work for the very popular 7600 series, but we still make the Blue Chart G3 charts for that. And so you can take a look also with our EchoMap unit. So the UHD 7 and 9, the UHD 2, 5 and 7 that we just came out with, and then the Ultra 10 and 12 inch units it will work with. So just know the cutoff point of what it'll work with. A lot of it depends on, resolution of the screen. Some of these here dating back to, units that are 10 years old just didn't have the resolution to handle this type of cartography. Make sure that your software is up to date. The nice thing is when you do buy a physical card or you have your ActiveCaptain app connected to your chart plotter, you'll have the latest software in your Garmin chart plotter. So what's new? As of April 2022, with that purchase of the card, you get daily updates. Like I said before, up to 5,000 per day. The nice thing for me, I get both coastal and inland content on one card, and I'll show you coverage areas too. You also get AutoGuidance+. Now you can buy a Garmin chart plotter today that has preloaded charts in there, and you will get AutoGuidance. But with the AutoGuidance that are on our Navionics Plus and Navionics Vision Plus cards, you're actually getting AutoGuidance Plus. It's a better routing of your AutoGuidance. So if you're going through some areas that are really tight and hard to get through, and you want to make sure it stays between the buoys, we're using the dock-to-dock features from Navionics and the Garmin AutoGuidance features and combining the best together. You've got the new look and feel of the chart. It's really best in class right now. It's easy to see. You also will get reminded if your charts are going to expire. You can actually just update them through your ActiveCaptain app. You want to make sure you have the app because you're going to unlock some premium features, especially in your Vision Plus card here, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So like I said before, when you purchase the charts, either download or a physical card, you get a 1-year free subscription with every card. You can renew that after the year at up to a 50% off. And there's really 2 cards. So there's standard and premium. So standard is your Garmin Navionics Plus, and then premium is your Vision Plus. Vision Plus really is going to add that relief shading, 3D view, satellite imagery, sonar imagery, for the US lakes. So that's the big feature. We took a lot of the great features over from Navionics, and now we brought them into this combination Garmin Navionics card. So new look and feel. The old look and feel of what we've got used to with Garmin, and now the new look and feel. So we really brought that Navionics look and feel. They're brighter, they're easier to see. The color palettes, especially in full sunlight, are easier to see. And the distinction between different areas are much better on the brand new chart. AutoGuidance Plus, smooth routing, dock-to-dock features from Navionics. The paths are going to stay within those channel markers. If you saw you were doing an AutoGuidance path, meaning, hey, I want to go from where my vessel is to another point, and it took you outside of that buoy marker, you're going to see for the most part that it's going to keep you within those buoys and within those parameters that you have set on your Garmin chart plotter. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the comparison with Blue Chart G3 and Garmin and Lakeview G3. So Lakeview, here's kind of the old or current, because you can still get it with some of our legacy units here. And then the brand new Garmin Navionics showing fishing contours and shallow water shading. So a lot better detail, especially if you zoom in even closer, showing the contour lines, bathymetric contour lines, Lakeview G3 up top, and then Navionics Plus down below here. And this is showing the depth range shading. So if I had areas maybe that I was marking because of real shallow areas, and I had, 0 to 5 feet comes up in red, and 6 to 10 is, more of the orange. I can show that over the screen here. So a lot better rendering. They actually follow the contour lines too much better in the brand new Navionics Plus. Another look and feel here of just some shallow water shading. So it just makes it a little bit easier, kind of your old or your Blue Chart G3, and then the brand new Navionics Plus. We're excited for this. So we've got some new Bahamas coverage. So obviously, if you've got your ActiveCaptain app and you've already purchased a Navionics Vision Plus card, you'd be able to see this information here. And so you can go from where we really didn't have coverage just a few months ago to where we have really good high-res relief shading. So when you're looking for that bottom contour, we can actually overlay the bathymetric depth contour lines on there too within this. So now it really becomes up huge on this chart, whereas before, I mean, if you're looking here, we really couldn't see any of that because we didn't have the coverage area. So that's the benefit of making sure that you have an ActiveCaptain account connected to a registered Garmin Navionics Vision download or card, and then you'll get those updates through that app. I'm excited for this because this is brand new satellite overlay photos. In some of my area, I didn't really have great coverage. I might have had some coverage up around like the marina that you see here over on the right-hand side, but I didn't really have great coverage back in what we call the backwaters. So this is west coast of Florida, but it's great for those shallow areas like the Everglades or up around New Orleans or any areas. Even if you're fishing on a lake or a river that's really shallow, you can come to an area that's maybe not as familiar with you and come back in here and say, all right, I mean, I can see, obviously this is very, very shallow, but I can see where some of the deeper water is here, deeper water right here. That's kind of a little area that, you know, some people will get hung up on low tide there, and it actually shows it in satellite imagery. So for areas that are, quote, not navigable waterways like you see over here, I can actually get out and kind of know, you know, where the sandbars are, you know, where some of the oyster bars are, right up in here. And it gives me a little bit better opportunity to fish some of those areas that I might not have been able to get back into, or at least, you know, poke around real slow and kind of hunt and search these areas, you know, to fish on. You've got some areas up here. Obviously, you've got some washout areas. There's a deep cut through there. Here's where the actual channel comes in. So you can see that's really, really deep, but that you want to make sure to stay away from some of these areas in here, especially if you have a larger boat. So the comparison between the two. So remember, you've got the, you know, Garmin Navionics Plus, and then Garmin Navionics Vision Plus. Vision is going to add your relief shading, satellite imagery, sonar imagery, aerial photographs. Great if you're a cruiser. We'll show you a picture of that in a little bit. Side scan images on some of our lakes, and then that 3D fisheye and 3D mariner eye view. Remember, you're also getting 42,000 US lakes within this cartography. So, and you get it both freshwater and saltwater. If you're in like my area in Florida, you have both on one single card. Compatibility, just make sure that your unit is compatible with it. That's right from our website here. And let's take a look here. So we're going to go Garmin Navionics Plus. So what can I get? What can I add to my unit? Maybe I didn't get any charts in a, you know, let's say I got an 8416. So an 8416 just has a base world map in it, and I added this chart to it. Now I'm going to get for $200 the entire US, Alaska, Hawaii, and this is going to give me everything you see in there. All my charts, my updates for the 1-year subscription, Auto Guidance Plus feature. All right, want to go from here, want to navigate through here to this point, and it gave me a suggested route. That's Auto Guidance Plus. Depth range shading, 1-foot contours. So when you get a preloaded unit, for instance, 8616 XSV, Your contour lines are going to be 6 foot. So 6 foot spaces in between the contour lines. With your chart, card, or download, it's going to be up to 1 foot contour line. So a lot more detailed contour lines in your fishing chart. And then shallow water shading, warning you of the shallow areas, your raster charts, and then ActiveCaptain community. So if you're a cruiser and you're looking for points of interest, marinas, anchorages, if I'm looking here and I want to see that anchor there, I can click on that anchor and I can see a review of that area. People can tell me, is it a 1, not a great area to be? Maybe it's a 5, great area to be. And then I can go into, the different marinas and boat ramps and everything on there. So $199, this is the coverage area. Well, hey, I don't need all the US, no problem. $149, you can get a smaller coverage area, gonna give you the same different features for $149. This is obviously the US here. So we can go in and take a look at our coverage areas, and maybe I just wanted for my area here, $149, I'm good with that. I don't need relief shading or satellite imagery, which that's not correct. I need that, so I'm gonna show you that in the next charts that I'll show you. But gives you a little bit of savings there if you didn't need the entire US. All right, now Garmin Navionics Vision Plus. I see this is what a lot of people add, especially if they bought a chart plotter that already has some preloaded charts in it. They might in the future add to this. $249. This is the coverage area. I'll show you some more coverage areas on the next slide in the US. And we have more areas, so you can go onto our website and shop for more areas. If you're in South America or the Caribbean, we've got some different coverage areas that you'll see down there. But this gives you, I would say, probably the top 3, maybe top 4 that I see is number 1, relief shading, satellite imagery. That's just for my area. Sonar imagery is great. If you're on the lakes and everything, you'll see selected lakes have some great sonar imagery. That's a part of this Vision Plus card. And then also aerial photographs, great for the cruiser. You're coming into an area, you're not really familiar with that bridge or the marina, and you want to see an aerial photograph of it. You just look for the camera icon on your chart plotter screen and click on that, and it'll show you aerial photographs. We do have some side scan images. You'll see that too. That's a camera icon that you'll see right over the water. You click on that and you can see some of the images that we screenshotted and see what's below that we actually scan. And then 3D fisheye and 3D mariner eye view. Just a word of warning, and especially west coast of Florida, we don't have a lot of variance in bottom. So the 3D fisheye view, especially inshore, doesn't work great for me because there's not a lot of variance in the bottom depth. So I would generally use either satellite imagery or the relief shading, especially more offshore. Now, if you had 3D fisheye view in, I believe that's Miami, government cut, yes, you would see a great little depiction of that dugout channel coming into Miami. Great also for dynamic lake level. So this is a function of the Vision Plus card here. You've got a lake that varies a lot in depth. You can go in there and say, hey, the lake is down 20 feet. I can put that in there, and now all your depths will render that reading there, pertaining to the current depth of that water. So here's your coverage areas. So you've got US and Canada, Alaska up top here, and then you see the different areas here for US West, $249. Let me show you, tell you the benefit that I like is, before we would have to have multiple cards approaching $1,000 just to cover Florida or more, especially if I was going to do some of the lakes. And now I can do one card for $249.99, and it gives me everywhere from the Bahamas, all the way up to Nebraska, Kansas. So any inland lakes that I was going to go in there, I have this all on that one either download or card, and I can unlock little areas that I'm going to be utilizing. And I'll show you how to do that, because maybe I don't want everything downloaded, but I just want to maybe pick an area here, pick that brand new area over in the Bahamas. Maybe I go down to the Keys and I'll do that. I'll show you how to do that. Comparison, we already looked at this. So Garmin Navionics Plus, Garmin Navionics Vision Plus, and then what you get with the added features. All right, so I'm going to take the physical card that I have, and I'm going to put it into the 8616 XSV. Got to use the micro SD card. I've taken every other card out of the unit itself. So if I had anything in there, I'd taken it out. That's kind of a general rule that I like to follow. That way I'm only looking at one card in the unit itself. And that card can act as my ActiveCaptain card. You just don't want to erase anything when you put it in there, but you can use that as your ActiveCaptain card. So here's the retail packaging. Open it up, you got your card, and then in here I had the micro SD card. So I plugged it into my 8616. What happened? Boom, I get this message here, update software. So the software is on your chart card. So once you insert it in there, it's going to give you this message. And yes, so I select update software. I can go in, I update that. Now remember, the update is just for whenever that card was made. You know, that card could have sat somewhere for a month or two and we might have come out with a new software update. No big deal. We'll show you how ActiveCaptain can back that up for you. So, but I just want to click update software to get to the most current so I can at least utilize this card right away and then let ActiveCaptain take over after that. So update software. Takes a long time to complete. Just make sure you don't lose power on this. Make sure nothing else is happening on the vessel itself. And then go ahead and select yes, update. So we update that and took a little shot with my camera here showing you what was happening on the chart plotter itself. So I do have a remote control on there. This is on NEMA 2000 and that had old software. So that card is updating that software also. And then my 8616. And for those of you that really know our software update versions, we are actually at 27.10 as of June 2022. So you did see I went from some old software, and I kept old software in there for a reason. Number one, I wanted to show our old user interface compared to the new user interface when I was out training and teaching dealers and consumers. And so now I want to update this software so I can utilize the brand new cartography. So it updated it to this. ActiveCaptain actually updated my software later on to the most current as of June of 2022. Let it render. It's going to take a little while. See your progress on the bottom here, and then you can just select your on-screen prompts to finish the software update. You can do your updates also through ActiveCaptain, like I said before, or through Garmin Express, where you actually pull the software off our Garmin Express, put it onto a card, or you can just manually download the updates onto a card. I like to travel with the updates. I usually have my GPS map series on one card, my Echo Map series on one card, and maybe some of the legacy units on another card. That way I have a physical card. I'm not connecting ActiveCaptain to anyone's chart plotter. I can put that card in and update it, just like we're doing here with this chart card that we purchased. Always, our product support team has put together some great videos on ActiveCaptain, from downloading to your smart device to updating your software. All of that is on our Garmin YouTube channel. You can just go in, you can watch it, and it's simple and easy, step-by-step, short little videos that they put together on ActiveCaptain. So ActiveCaptain on the chart plotter. So we've already assumed you have already gone and downloaded the app and you've got it on whatever you're going to use, your phone or your tablet. Now we're going to go ActiveCaptain on the chart plotter. As you see over here, I've got a little icon. When you see this icon here, you know I'm in the chart plotter as opposed to the app. So let's take a look here. All right, I have my card in the chart plotter. I can see it because here's the outline of the area on my Garmin Navionics Vision Plus card. All right. And I need to turn on Wi-Fi because now I need to connect to an ActiveCaptain account because I need to unlock these charts or I'm not going to get the premium features like satellite imagery and high-res relief shading. So how we do that is we'll go into Vessel, we'll go into ActiveCaptain, and then you're going to come to this page. So I can already tell that I've never connected to an ActiveCaptain account with this particular chart plotter. So what I need to do then is select the Wi-Fi and turn the Wi-Fi on. All right, check. Download ActiveCaptain app to my mobile device. Check, done that. And then connect your mobile device to the chart plotter's Wi-Fi. All right, so that's the final thing that I do. But first, I need to set this up. I need to make my chart plotter send out a Wi-Fi signal and also give it a password. So how do we do that? So we're going to go into Wi-Fi network. We're going to enable Wi-Fi, because as you get your chart plotter, it's going to default to off. So we need to turn that on. Press OK to configure Wi-Fi for the first time. We're going to select OK. You can name it. So this just makes it easy when you're on your, let's say your smartphone, and you're pulling up Wi-Fi, that you'll be able to easily recognize that that is your chart plotter. So I just named it Garmin 8616 XSV, selected done when I'm done, and then give it a password. This password, don't worry about it. You can change this at any time. If you forgot it, you can go immediately back into your chart plotter and just give it a new password. This one's super simple and easy to change if you ever forgot it later on. But once you're connected via Wi-Fi, and as long as you keep on the Wi-Fi turned on your chart plotter and you don't change anything, you'll always be able to connect to that with your smart device later on. I just put in a simple password number there. And now I need to go to my smart device. So using my iPad, so I went to my iPad and then I just looked at the Wi-Fi settings, and I wanted to not connect to my home Wi-Fi internet. I wanted to connect to the point-to-point Wi-Fi in my 8616, because I want to connect that. I want to register these charts that are in there, and I see I'm not connected. So I'm turned on, I've changed the name, I've changed the password. Advanced is going to go into, let's say that there was multiple Wi-Fi networks out there, you're at a marina, and that channel just wasn't connecting really good with your smartphone. You can go in and change channels through this advanced feature setting there. So let's go in, I've already turned it on, and boom. So once I've connected on my iPad, I needed to connect to this, and then I had to put in that password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then boom, I see it connected here, right on my chart plotter. I know that I'm connected to that. A new ActiveCaptain user was detected. Yes, because I've already gone into ActiveCaptain. I've already registered a whatever email account that you had. I just made up an email account here for this particular connection. And yes, I want to be the owner of this vessel. So I selected yes. And now I am the owner of the vessel. And just to let you know, our product support team at 1-800-800-1020, if you had a device that was used or you needed to wipe out a device, these guys and girls at our product support team can go ahead and wipe that out. In case you had too many accounts connected together and you just want to start fresh, you can do it that way. And then that way you know that this is your unit, this is your ActiveCaptain, and you're the owner of this vessel here. So we're going to then select done. And now let's open up the ActiveCaptain on our 8616. So before, when we went into vessel ActiveCaptain, we didn't have any, we had set it up, and now we should see something different. So vessel, ActiveCaptain, boom, we do, awesome. So we can then go into one chart. So one chart is going to show all of our charts that are in our chart plotter that we've purchased, our additional charts like on my chart chip, or if I've downloaded any additional charts are going to all be in there. It also, at the same time, and I didn't take any screenshots, but it updated my software. So my software, because I wasn't running 27.10, I think is the most current on this, I had this little icon up here, and I just let it sync together And once it's synced, I got a green little check mark. So that's great. ActiveCaptain community, that's information that still needs to be downloaded. So that's points of interest, marinas, boat ramps, all of that can be synced once my tablet is connected to my chart plotter. So I just kind of let that run. And then smartphone notifications, and if you wanted like your smartphone text to pop up on the screens, I have it disabled. I didn't want that to just pop up when I was doing, some of these screenshots. Some people, it's, they just really don't want to see incoming text appear up on their screen. But what we want to see is one chart. So we want to go in. I am connected to this. We want to see what one chart is going to show us here. So let's select one chart. So I've got my mobile device connected. I don't have anything really downloaded and it's inactive. Well, we have to activate this. If we don't activate it, we're not going to see any of those premium features that we just purchased on this card. So let's go in and activate using the ActiveCaptain app, the chart or your map subscription. So on my iPad, I've already downloaded the free app. So obviously this is for Apple or Android. And I just show you some of our other apps that we have on there, from our Fusion Entertainment link, to Garmin Connect, Empire Bus for digital switching, one of the best apps, standalone apps for navigation, Navionics boating app. But in this case here, we're going to use ActiveCaptain. We're going to go in and select ActiveCaptain and unlock the premium content, such as relief shading, satellite imagery. So I've gone, I've opened up, I'm on my main screen here in my ActiveCaptain app. And what I want to do is select chart, which is down here, and go in and take a look at the charts that are in this app here. All right. Well, now we've got to go ahead and select the hamburger menu. Okay, because I don't see any charts in there. So let's do that. So let's come up here to the little hamburger menu up in the top right. Select that, we're going to open that, and then we're going to come to my charts. So why don't I see anything on there? And maybe this will give me an indication of why I don't see anything. Oh, your charts will be registered automatically when your mobile device has an internet connection. Okay, I could either tap here or tap here for pending registrations. So this is where I'm going to then register. So I'm going to go in, and I could also purchase new charts if I wanted to do it that way. So either way, I just preferred to, in this case, I wanted to buy a physical card and put it in my chart plotter and then register through ActiveCaptain. So let's select pending registration. Your device and accessories map cards are pending registration. They will be registered automatically when your mobile device has an internet connection. We will notify. Oh, okay, so it's got that handshake already. It kind of knows that they're there. And so then in my iPad, I just need internet at this point, not the point-to-point Wi-Fi. So I can select OK. I went ahead and turned on my internet Wi-Fi on my iPad, and guess what? I'm active now. So I am active. I've got the chart active in ActiveCaptain. So all of this is active, but I still need to go ahead and then select the areas that I want to download. I want to download certain areas. So let's go ahead and hit OK. And then we're going to come into the chart areas that I want to download. So that's simple and easy because I don't necessarily need everything right now that I purchased, but I want to pick certain areas that I might be going to maybe this summer. So let's take a look here. We're going to go to download charts. And I've already downloaded 3 areas. So if you notice here, here's the outline of my complete coverage area that I purchased for $249.99. And then these are the areas that I've already downloaded. So I wanted to get that brand new relief shading for the Bahamas and southeast coast of Florida. I wanted the Bahamas in there, or the Florida Keys, Bahamas. And then some local areas where I live, west coast of Florida here. The way you do it is you're going to have this little box. Take that box, you can move it around the areas. Let's say I wanted to do New Orleans. I could overlay the box, expand it out, and then select download, and I could download that area. So with this subscription, you can just keep downloading, whatever areas here that you've purchased for that year, and then anything within those areas also will be updated. So for instance, if you've had this card before we came out with the Bahamas coverage for relief shading, once you sync it with ActiveCaptain, you'll get that new content. Those are the daily updates that you're getting. So we're going to download, which we've already done. Boom. So remember, I'm still in my app. So I'm on my iPad. This could be your smartphone or whatever. So we're still within the app. Now I see the outline. So now I know that I am registered. I see our charts and everything is in the ActiveCaptain app. And now what I want to do is actually go to the next menu set down here, and I want to take a look at the chart page under navigation. And yep, boom, look what we have there. So now we have navigation fishing, which we had before, but now we have raster charts. So those are the old, paper charts created by cartographers. You can get them in, like we have it in the digital image here, or that'd be something you go into a store and see it on like a actual paper chart. So those are there. And now relief shading also. So I want to select relief shading. There we go. So those are the areas I've downloaded. And now I'm curious, I want to go over and see this area here. So as of this year, springtime, we really only came out to maybe about here, maybe a little further. And now we've added all this area in the Bahamas with relief shading. So I can go ahead and unlock and open that up. So what is relief shading? So relief shading is going to make it easier for you to really distinguish the bottom if you're looking for structure, artificial reefs, if you're fishing or diving. So it gives you a really good picture of what the bottom looks like. So let's take a look at we'll take a look at the satellite imagery now, and we'll come back and we'll show you the relief shading here in a little bit. So navigation. And then select the hamburger menu. So the reason why I'm doing this is satellite imagery is not turned on within the app or within your chart plotter. So you're going to have to do the same thing on your chart plotter also to show satellite photography or imagery. So we're going to come in here to the hamburger menu again, select that, and then we're going to go into chart settings. And there we go, satellite photos. So the box isn't checked off. We want to make sure to check that off, and you'll see what happens once we check it off. Boom, satellite photos, but it's land only. That's fine, but I'm on the water. So I want more satellite imagery on the water, because all of this area, if you notice, that's 1 foot, 1 foot, very shallow. Great fishing back in this area though. So I want to go ahead and turn off land only, and I want to go into a photo blend. So I can do from 0 all the way up to 100%. I just chose 100%. The imaging is really good now, and so it looked great to me, and that's why I selected it. And there's a reason for it, like I said, because very shallow areas. So if I was out here on my little inshore flats boat and I wanted to get back into some of these areas, this gives me a really good indication of where there's deeper water than what the surrounding areas. Now there's some areas here on real low tide that it's actually exposed. There's some oyster bars that are in here. So this is why I'm using this satellite photo blend. So I can turn that on and I can crank it all the way up to 100% like I just did, and boom. You also see some ActiveCaptain community information. So there's a couple boat ramps out here. So if this is an area you're not familiar with, you can see where the boat ramps are there. These are some areas where people have anchored up, and it'll give you a little review of those areas there. Or if you're using it for fishing, this is what I would use it for back in that area. Let's go back to boat apps here and connect our mobile device to the Wi-Fi network on our chart plotter. So the reason is we've already downloaded and we've done everything within the app, right? So we've registered, we've unlocked, and now we want to go to our chart plotter again, and we want to send all that information over. We want to sync, okay? So I can tell that I'm connected. So I've already connected to it. I'm point-to-point Wi-Fi. So even at this point where I've downloaded everything, maybe I've done this at home on my home internet. And now I'm at the boat where I get no internet. Not a problem, because all we need to do now is just connect to my 8616 and send that information over. So we're going to select continue. We're going to send that information over, select done. And now we can sync it with the chart plotter. So once we sync it, let's take a look at what's happening on the chart plotter side. So ActiveCaptain app, now we're going to go to the 8616. We're going to show you what the sync looks like, and we're going to show you what transferring all the charts over from our ActiveCaptain app. So let's go in here. We're going to select vessel, and we're going to select ActiveCaptain. Now at this point, you kind of already see a preview of it. What does it look like? Boom, there's my Garmin ActiveCaptain page. I'm transferring the charts over that I've downloaded from my ActiveCaptain app. So that's being sent over, and you can see everything else. Oh, look what else transferred over. Remember before we had a little yellow exclamation point on the ActiveCaptain community, but this synced also. So once I was connected and I had all my community data updated on my app, it also updated it on the chart plotter. So you'll see all those overlays of points of interest, marinas, anchorage areas, and everything transfer over. I still don't want smartphone notifications on this. So I have that turned off. That's why it's giving me that. Software is up to date. User data sync is waypoints, routes. That's all up to date. So I could create, a waypoint or a route over on my chart plotter or over on my app and then send it over to my chart plotter. A good example would be that little shallow area. Let's go back real quick. And if we go back here and I wanted to lay down waypoints, so let's say my boat is, 20 miles from the house, but I want to put in waypoints here. I could put in waypoints, save that as a route, and then the next time I'm out in the boat, sync it over, and that would sync over to my chart plotter under use a data sync. And that's going to just automatically happen now as long as your software is up to date. So one chart transferred over. Let's take a look here. So I'm transferring. I'm still inactive, okay, because it still hasn't synced everything yet together. But let's take a look here. Once we're transferring over, boom, I've transferred everything over. So this is what I've downloaded for those particular areas. And then this is what I've then sent over. And now I have everything unlocked, subscribed to on my chart plotter and within my app. Let's go back. Transfer is done. It's complete. I got a green check mark. I'm good to go. Now let's take a look at this on your Garmin. So 8616 XSV. Let's take a look at the Garmin Navionics Vision Plus charts here. Look what I have. So before, because I had preloaded charts of NavChart fishing chart, I didn't have 3D, fisheye 3D, raster, and relief shading. They're there. Okay, I can see everything's transferred over. So I want to take a look and see what this relief shading is, and I want to show you that new Bahamas and see if that's in there. So let's take a look. We're going to select charts if it wasn't already. So charts and then relief shading. Boom, there you go. So that's the area. that you see here of the brand new high-res relief shading in the Bahamas. So lots of great coverage areas throughout the US that you'll see for relief shading, and this is just one example that you'll see here. The other thing is you need to make sure to turn on satellite photos. So we purchased the card, Garmin Navionics Vision Plus card, and that has satellite photos in there. And that's what I like to use, in that shallow area. So, but I have to turn it on. So I could either select nav or fishing chart. In this example, I'm going to select navigation chart. And the pathway to get to it is charts, nav chart, options, layers, chart, satellite photos. Press the three little dots, select land only, photo blend, and then change the transparency of it from 0 to 100%. So let me walk you through that. It's simple and easy. So same thing here, charts, nav chart. Here we go. Okay. Looks like the only thing I have turned on right now is satellite photos on land. That's doing me no good here. So we want to go in and unlock some additional information and disregard all these green things. These are all waypoints, so no one steal any of my good fishing spots here. So we're going to go into options. What did it set up there? Yep, options. And then we're going to go to layers. And then we're going to go to chart. And then satellite photos. So we wouldn't see this if we didn't have that Vision Plus card in there. We want to turn it on. So we're going to select the green, turn it on. All right. And then we want to select the three little dots over here so we can go into a sub menu to do some fine tune settings here. So let's select that. So that's what the default is, land only. And that's what we're seeing right here for satellite. I don't want that. So let me press this. That'll change it to this. My photo blend is 22%. And obviously I could zoom in a little closer to see that more. But what I want to do is crank it all the way up to 100%. I've already done it before. I've seen that it works for me. Now I'm at a real high zoom level here. So let me go in and show you an area when I zoom in of how I'll actually use it. Photo map blend, and boom. Here's an area. This is great. This is perfect for the way I'm going to use it. I can see like a little area. This is a roadway that goes out to some homes and camps and stuff out on this little island area. That's a bridge. Underneath the bridge, there's some deeper water cut out right there. That looks like there was actually a boat that was navigating through this little area. Very, very, very shallow areas here. Lots of oyster bars back in this area, lots of rocks back in this area, but it gives me a fighting chance if there was areas that I didn't remember very well, or new areas that I want to kind of hunt and find. I can kind of come in here and take a look and see, all right, there's some areas that are a little bit deeper. I see that that's really deep. So the darker areas are deeper. That's a sandbar that's exposed right there. You've got oyster bars that are over here. So the satellite imagery is really good in areas that aren't, quote, navigable channels. So these are just off the beaten path. Like I said, you see this a lot down in the Everglades or, maybe up around New Orleans, or just shallow water navigation fishing. So this is how I like to use that. So I want to thank you. That was a nice little rundown through our brand new cartography for 2022. As always, if you have any questions, please email us at marine.training@garmin.com and just put in the subject heading that it is cartography or charts, and we'll get back to you in a timely manner. You can always see our archived webinars on our Garmin YouTube channel. Just go to Garmin YouTube, go to videos and scroll down and look for webinars, and you can see our past webinars. Last one I did, I think, was on the Garmin GPS map user interface, but you'll see all different webinars there. We've done a 2-year webinar series here. So there's a lot of good training videos on there, from live scope to radar, sonar, whatever you want to see on there. And always, we really appreciate you taking the time out and watching and listening to these webinars. And as always, we'll see you out on the water.